Namaste and welcome to Health Tips with Yogi Nataraj. Today we are dealing with Pranamaya Kosha, Pranayama. Last week we talked about Annamaya Kosha, the physical body, the Annamaya, the body that is dependent on food. Now, what holds this body together is Prana, Pranamaya Kosha. In our body, apart from the gross nerves that carry blood, etc., there is subtle nerves which carry prana or energy. Those cannot be seen with the naked eye, just like the mind. In Ayurveda, they are called as Manovaha and Pranavaha Nadi. So Nadi means it's referring to both the gross and subtle nerves, but basically here we are referring to the subtle nerves that carry thoughts from the mind to different parts of the body. Where is your mind? Various Upanishads have answered this question. The mind is a tiny ball which entraps the soul in the region of the heart. Although it is so small, it is like the Intel chip in a computer which literally controls all the functions of the body. And how does it control? It transfers thought and prana, the energy to do that activity, by these nadis. Now let me give you a small example. When you are angry, how is your thought and your breath? You are very angry. Angry like a snake, we say. But when you are calm, how is your breathing? Slow. So, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika says that thoughts are proportional to breath. The slower you breathe, slower your thoughts. And this principle is used in pranayama to reduce the amount of thoughts and the stress related to these thoughts. When you breathe calm, when you breathe slow, even 10 minutes a day, that reduces your stress level by 60%. And I've already spoken about this in a different video. Now in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains, Pranapane samah kritva pranayama parayanaha. So in the body, there are 5 main airs and there are 5 sub-airs. So what do these airs do? So the prana air goes upward. The apana air goes downward. So when you wake up in the morning, all the morning cleansing functions are being done because of the apana air. Now samana, the air which digests your food, because there needs to be heat and light and air to digest your food, and that is the function of samana air. Then there is vyana, just like vata, which balances the whole body, and then there is udana, that which balances the pressure in the head and pressure in the body, that is called as udana vayu. So all these 5 main airs, and there are sub airs, naga, kurma, etc., which help in blinking, which help in belching, yawning, etc. And these different airs, the pressures. Now all these come from one central air in the heart, which is called as prana. Prana ayama means to increase the energy levels. According to the Vedic scriptures, our life expectancy, or according to our karma, our lifespan is set according to the number of breaths we breathe. So yogis who breathe slowly, they live longer because you are increasing whatever is already given to you. You are increasing your lifespan. That is why it is called as prana ayama. Now in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains very beautifully that of purifiers I am the wind. So pranayama not only reduces thought but also pranayama purifies our mind. Krishna says, of purifiers I am the wind once again. So this wind is a purifier. So when you breathe out, when you calmly breathe out, it not only calms you down but also throws out the toxic thought. When somebody gets angry, you say, don't get on my nerves. So these bad impressions, they sit on your nerves, which eventually flow to the mind. So before it flows to the mind, if by the process of pranayama, you are able to throw out these thoughts. Therefore, before you chant a mantra, you have to do pranayama. Before the classic Gayatri mantra, we say pranayame viniyogaha. Why? Because by pranayama, your mind clears off all those disturbing impressions, all those disturbing thoughts, and then it is able to centralize, it is able to focus within. And then when you chant the mantra, it adds more prana to it. Because when you speak to somebody, hey, you know what, can you please do this for me? But in this, if you add a little more prana, hey, you know what, why don't you do this for me? And I will enthusiastically reciprocate. Now it sounds more nicer because there is a lot more energy. So pranayama increases your energy levels and it wards off all other distracting thoughts. And then when you chant the mantra flows through these nadis and directly hits the mind. The desired effect is gotten. Because when you chant the mantra, the biggest disturbance is our residual thoughts. And your residual thoughts never let the mantra hit the mind at the intensity as it should. But when you do proper pranayama, when you cleanse out your nerves, you will find that these mantra really flows through your nervous system, and this is what a yoga practitioner is supposed to do. But to reach this level of pranayama, one needs to have pure food and proper asana practice. But even otherwise, if we just practice deep breathing, you can still get a good effect. And we will today practice one simple pranayama which you can use. It is helpful in improving your digestion, improving your thought process, improving your mind. That is called as Ujjayi pranayama. When you breathe in and out deeply, focus on your throat region. This is the basic breath. Before you do the actual pranayama of holding the breath, remember you can only hold the breath when you practice proper bandha, which we will see in a different episode. But please understand, when you focus on the throat and calmly release the air, fills up the chest, calmly comes out, throws out all the residual thought, calms you down. It is really powerful. So Krishna explains one who becomes expert at holding the bandhas, that is squeezing in the lower abdomen tight, and is able to hold his airs in the chest region. He burns off all other extra fat, extra thoughts, everything, and is able to really have focused thought process. That is the benefit of pranayama, and Krishna explains one who masters this process is able to really have one pointed successful focus, and he becomes a successful yogi. So this is the importance of pranayama. More coming up on meditation tomorrow. See you then.